So you can see right now, again, we're on Lucky Street, excuse me, kind of just ran a little bit, so I'm a little out of breath, but we're on Lucky Street. You do see it is 9 o'clock. There are protesters still out here, and you see this presence. I will say they have not fired any tear gas. They have not shot any rubber bullets. Since what you guys probably saw closer to 8:40, they have not fired anything. They've just simply been walking, and it seems when they move forward, the protesters and the people who are still out here move back. And you can see people still holding signs. I can't breathe. Justice for Breonna Taylor. They still have those signs out here. So they're still trying to.
It looks like they're linking arms in an effort not to be moved now that the curfew is in effect.
They are. They're trying to be a little bit careful right now. There are cars right here, so they're trying not to get hit by cars right now. So they're moving forward, and these protesters are not moving.
And now this is a very small crowd right now.
They're not moving.
Do we think that they've moved anywhere else, or is this the last of the protesters?
They're moving back. Those protesters, they were linking arms. There are a couple that are still linking arms. We're going to get on the side here. We're just going to, and are they going forward? Yeah, so they're arresting people now. They're moving forward, and they're arresting those people who would not move earlier. They're out chasing people down the street. There's a couple of officers. Oop, I'm not going to get in the way of a SWAT. There's a SWAT officer right next to me that I don't want to get in the way of. So this is what we're seeing right now. We're seeing officers, we're seeing SWAT. They are running towards some of those protesters that wouldn't move. And this is different from what we've seen the last 2 nights. The last 2 nights, they gave them warnings for a couple of hours. And then right around that 10:30, 11 o'clock hour, they weren't giving warnings anymore. They were arresting. This time it seems they're not even giving warnings at 9:01. They're running towards and they're trying to make arrests.
It's 9:03, Hope. So within 3 minutes, the arrest started after curfew.
Okay. And they are throwing, so there are people out on the road that are throwing things at police. This is difficult right now because, as you can see, traffic is still going. So there's protesters around cars, and the police presence is right behind us right now. We're going to kind of move a little bit out of their way so that we don't get in between them. But you see them on the left of us, and on the right. And again, we're just still further down Lucky Street right now. The traffic is still moving, so they're kind of trying to stop, let those lights change. There are still a lot of people. I mean, I can probably see maybe 100 people. And at this point, it may not necessarily all be protesters. It may just be people who are walking around down in this area who didn't even join in on the protest earlier, but it is that curfew now, and they're out walking around. So this is where we're at 9:04, I believe. Yes, 9:04. This is where we're at right now.
Hope there looks to be more.
Law enforcement tries to push everyone back.
With each night that passes, there seems to be more efficiency from law enforcement. They seem to be more coordinated and more purposeful on what they are trying to accomplish against those protesters who opt not to leave.
Yeah, I would definitely say I have seen that since being out in out here since Friday to today. I have definitely seen more law enforcement out here. I definitely have seen, and I actually see one of them has a tear gas can in their hand, so I'm going to move a little bit out of the way for that. But we have seen that they're not really giving any more time. Because a lot of the people, at least a lot of the people I talked to today, this is day 4 of protests for them too. They've come out here before. So if these are the same people who continually to come out and protest and support that cause, they might also be the same people who, are out here later in the night, who want to still join in at that 8:30 hour. So we've seen more police, we've seen more National Guard, and we see that they seem to have less patience as it gets towards that 9 o'clock hour because they don't want those people out there on the roads. But again, I do see one of the officers just checked his watch. He does have a can of tear gas in his hand. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. They're moving forward again, as you can see. And we see him moving forward. We see that can in his hand right there. We're trying to get out of their way. We don't want to get caught in between the middle of them. There are protesters who are still throwing things at police. We do see some of them with guns that are loaded with rubber bullets. I'm hearing a couple protesters screaming at them. We're going to stay out here all night. Oh, they want us out of the way? So we're going to move out of their way right now. We're going to run a little bit further.